Good morning. This is Steven, master trainer, personal trainer, health coach. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today, I want to talk about something that's super helpful for your cardiovascular fitness. One of the biggest predictors of longevity is your cardiovascular fitness. And one of the single most beneficial things you possibly can do to increase your cardiovascular fitness is doing interval training. So, what is interval training? Interval training is this, and specifically I'm going to talk about high intensity interval training, HIIT training. So what this is and what this encompasses, it could be a number of things. Let me tell you about maybe the most known type of high intensity interval training. So when you go on a treadmill and you go on that treadmill and you go as fast as you possibly can for a finite period of time, say for instance like 20, 30 seconds, and you go basically balls to the wall, you go as fast as you possibly can, you can't do anymore, and then lower that speed down to a steady state, down to a passive state that you can actually catch your breath. That's an interval. So here would be an example. Say you do 30 seconds as fast as you possibly can. You do 60 seconds at a very moderate pace so you can catch your breath, and then you do it again. That is interval training. So you can do it in a lot of different ways. Say for instance you want to start off and you just do 3 intervals. That would be considered high intensity interval training. So say I go on that treadmill and I go as fast as I possibly can, and for example like 12 miles per hour, and then I put on a 10% grade and I do that for 30 seconds, and then I'm like, oh, I'm tired, I can't go any farther. And then I lower that treadmill mile per hour range and I go to say 3.5 miles per hour so I can catch my breath, and I decrease that incline down to 1% or 2%. So then I wait till I catch my breath until I can get the mustard to go back and do it again as hard as I possibly can. So that's high intensity interval training. So you go as hard as you possibly can for a period of time, which is, say for example that I'm giving 30 seconds, and then you just do it again. So say I go on that treadmill and I'm up and I go increase that speed again all the way to 12 miles per hour with the 10% grade, and I go do it again. So there's 30 more seconds I do. Then I back it back down to say 3.5 miles per hour with a 2% grade to catch my breath, and then I go do it again. And that's interval training. It's going, and that's why they call them intervals, because every single one is a finite period of time where you actually go as fast as you can and then you take a break, which in this case would be a steady state break of like a moderate pace of like 3.5 miles per hour with like a 2% grade so I can get my heart rate back. So that's an example of interval training. Here's an example of high intensity interval training on a whole different mode. Say for instance on a rowing machine. Say I get on the rowing machine and I go do 20 seconds as hard as I possibly can, and I cover like a few hundred meters, and then I go on a really slow pace so I can recover, and then I go back again and do 20 more seconds. That is another form of interval training. You could do interval training with any mode of cardio. So you can do it doing an exercise bike, you can do it outside, doing sprinting on a track, you can do it anywhere. It's just a certain period of time where you run or do the activity as hard as you possibly can, and then you take a break. But once again, this is one of the single most beneficial things you can do for longevity, with a host of other great benefits. There's something called EPOC, excess post-oxygen consumption, that occurs after doing high-intensity interval training. You'll wind up burning calories for up to 24, 48 hours after your workout when you do a really intense, high-intensity interval training workout. And then you'll get that added benefit of improving your cardiovascular fitness. I wouldn't recommend doing high-intensity interval training more than maybe a couple times a week, but right away you'll notice once you test your cardiovascular fitness with the cardiovascular assessment, after a few weeks, you'll notice you've already increased your cardiovascular fitness significantly. And in future videos, I'll tell you a little bit about some different cardiovascular assessments that could do a really good job testing your theoretical VO2 max and giving you a really good idea of how you compare to other individuals, plus show whether you're improving in your cardiovascular fitness from 1 week to the next. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Mahalo. Please subscribe to my channel if you like it. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And please leave a comment if there's anything you want to learn in future videos. And I'll totally give it my best shot to cover it and help you learn something brand new. Anyways, have a great day.